All right, happy rainy day, everybody. It is cold, windy, and wet here in Arizona. Very rare. And of course, that means the Huskies are on a different level. I swear, the cooler it gets, the more energy these guys have. It's like they hit the turbo mode. So while they pull me around the neighborhood, I wanted to talk about something that hits all of us. Adults, kids, pretty much everyone living in America these days. Keeping up with the Joneses. You know exactly what I mean. The new car someone drives, the backyard pool, the fancy vacations, the name brand clothes, the jewelry, the iPhone 27 Ultra Titanium Pro Max, whatever's out now. And kids feel this stuff just as hard as adults do. Honestly, sometimes even more, especially in junior high and high school. For us, with 4 girls growing up, it was the same thing. Friends getting brand new cars for their 16th birthdays, kids taking Caribbean vacations every year, brand new iPhones on upgrade day, $200 sneakers. And you want your kids to feel included. You want them to feel like they're not on the outside looking in. But at the same time, you want them to grow up strong, grounded, and grateful. And if I'm being honest, one of the most powerful lessons our girls learned didn't come from abundance. It came from limits. We never had a pool, couldn't afford one, especially when they're growing up. You know what we had? Friends with pools, public pools, and grandma's neighborhood pool. And you know what? The kids never felt cheated. They didn't know the difference because all they saw was fun, family, and time together. Go figure, we finally got that pool, but it was after most of them were pretty much grown up and out of the house. And vacations, look, we weren't flying to Hawaii or Disney cruises. Disneyland was already insanely overpriced even back then. So we did San Diego, 5 hours in the car, rented a condo for the week, made our own meals, beach all day, barbecue at night, no big frills, but it became our tradition for 25 straight years. To this day, our girls say those were the best trips of their lives. And that's the thing. Kids rarely remember the stuff. They remember the moments. They remember the time you were present. They remember the simple things: sand, sun, bikes, board games, late night ice cream runs, the stuff that didn't cost much. But as they got older, especially in junior high and high school, the comparison game got louder. It got a lot louder. And envy, we don't like to admit it, but every one of us deals with it at some point. Adults too. You see someone's house, their car, their job, their vacation photos, and something inside you pulls a little. The Bible talks a ton about envy because God knows how destructive comparison can be. One of my favorite verses is Proverbs 14:30. It says, "A heart at peace gives life to the body, but envy rots the bones." And man, that is so true. Envy eats away at you from the inside. It doesn't just make you discontent, it steals your joy. And Jesus talked a lot about money and possessions, not because money is evil, but because it can grab a hold of our hearts. Luke 12:15 says, "Watch out, be on your guard against all kinds of greed. Life does not consist in an abundance of possessions." That last line is huge. Life does not consist in an abundance of possessions. Try telling that to a teenager who wants the newest iPhone or shoes that cost a car payment. But it's such life-giving truth. One thing we tried to do with our girls was give them responsibility early, not to punish them, but to give them ownership. If they really wanted something, they worked for it. Babysitting, reffing games, odd jobs, whatever it was. What it did was flip the script. Instead of envy, they started thinking in terms of goals. Instead of comparing, they started planning. Instead of feeling entitled, they felt proud. They learned that satisfaction of saving, the value of hard work, and the joy of earning something you actually put effort into. And that sticks with them as adults. Every one of our girls has financial discipline now that some adults twice their age don't have. So if you're raising kids right now and they're getting hit with that pressure at school or online, or if you're dealing with that pressure, here's what I'd say. Teach contentment, model it, celebrate the simple things, and talk openly about envy. Don't pretend it doesn't exist. Every one of us fights it. The Apostle Paul said in Philippians 4:11 through 12, I have learned to be content, whatever the circumstances. And then he goes on to describe having plenty and having nothing, and still being grounded. Contentment isn't natural, it's learned. And that's what we try to teach our kids. Contentment is a muscle. You build it by choosing gratitude over comparison, stewardship over envy, generosity over greed. Another great verse is 1 Timothy 6:6. Godliness with contentment is great gain. That is the opposite of the world's message that says happiness equals more. So I'd love to hear from you, parents, grandparents, anyone who's been through this. What strategies worked for you with your kids, or just you in general? How do you help kids deal with envy, comparison, or feeling left out when everyone around them seems to have more? Did you have some family traditions that kept life simple but meaningful? Because I think of all of us can learn from one another. All right. Coming around the corner. These Huskies are dragging me faster than they intended, so I'm going to wrap it up. But remember this, the Joneses aren't real. They're a moving target. There's always someone with more. But you can choose joy right where you are. You can choose gratitude. You can teach your kids something far more valuable than stuff. You can teach them how to be content. And that will carry them for the rest of their lives. Well, thanks for riding along with us on this cold, rainy Arizona day. Drop a comment, share your thoughts, like and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you guys on the next ride.